This video is sponsored by my patrons on Patreon. If you like my content and would like to join the ranks and get some pretty cool perks alongside it, the link is in the description below. So, I know there are a lot of gamers in my audience. I mean, at the core of the human identity, we're all gamers. So I hope you all don't get mad when I say this, but early on in my YouTube viewing days, I wasn't really someone who watched videos about video games, whether that be people talking about or playing them. That was the case until about 5 years ago when I found 3 creators that really intrigued me with the discourse they used to tackle discussing games. I've already made videos on the other 2, Donkey and Nakey Jakey, so I think it's about time that I made a video about the last one remaining, JonTron. Now, before I get into my personal thoughts and analysis on the subject, I enlisted the help of a creator by the name of the BC to take the initial plunge into describing Mr. Jafari. So, over to him.
What's up, Colin? I'm the BC. Nice to meet you. Thank you for having me on. And I seriously am so excited and honored to talk about this topic. I don't talk about YouTubers on my channel, but oh god, JonTron, he's just fantastic. So I just want to talk about a little bit about him. So I got into him quite a few years ago when I first started really finding the YouTubers that I wanted to watch for a long time. JonTron was one of the first that I really just latched onto. I loved his humor, I loved his comedy. I think I started watching him back in 2016, it's 5 years ago at this point, and I still watch him constantly. Even though he doesn't upload a lot, when he does, it's always an event. He's one of the best YouTubers when it comes to quality over quantity. But there's still plenty of fantastic videos that I love to watch and rewatch multiple times. He was around pretty early on in the YouTube game. He's just one of those creators that he's always been the way he is. He's never been annoying or stupid. Sure, things come and go throughout his videos. They're not always going to be the exact same. They're always going to be a little different each time as he finds new things to talk about, to create about. Better budget. He started working with the team now, and it definitely shows, but his humor has always stayed intact. JonTron is always JonTron, even when some of his older videos have different backgrounds or different editing styles, but they're always him. He himself has not really changed much, and that sounds like a bad thing. He's changed in the right ways. He hasn't changed in any negative ways. All of the changes that he's done for himself and for his channel have been beneficial and hilarious for the people watching him. Yeah, I love JonTron, and I think he's just such a almost perfect creator. There's rarely any drama surrounding him. There's rarely ever anything bad. Does a joke not land? Yeah, I mean, it's bound to happen when you're doing comedy, but 90% of the time I'm rolling on the floor laughing whenever he makes a slight comment or an over-the-top joke. He really commits to the bit too. He'll put on different costumes, and he's just a hilarious guy, and I'm so glad that he's out there in the world doing what he's doing. At first he focused on video games, but I really love that he's been able to branch out, do anything. He'll talk about random weird videos he's found online. He's talked about random movies he's watched and found funny enough to talk about. It's not just video games anymore, although I do love his video game videos. But yeah, he's such a diverse creator. He talks about so many different things, and it's just always interesting to watch a JonTron video. It's always hilarious. It's always really well put together, well spoken, well edited, especially now that he has a full team behind him. And a lot of creators, when they have a team behind them, they kind of lose their charm, they kind of lose their edge a bit, because now they're working for kind of a studio or they have to worry about advertisers. But John never really did that, at least not in any super noticeable way. Yeah, there's a few sponsor breaks in some of his more recent videos, but they're not egregious, and they're often still funny, and he pairs with some decent advertisers too, so it never feels like it's a ripoff or JonTron is losing himself. He's still got the edge, he still cusses as much as he wants to, he says whatever he wants to. He's never had to censor himself for anybody, and he's always just been probably, I would say, up in my top 5 favorite creators next to Donkey, which you did an excellent video about, thank you for that. And a few others I can name off a lot, but yeah, JonTron is one for the books. He's one of the best YouTubers, I think, ever, both for his comedy and for his creativity when it comes to his videos. And it doesn't matter what he talks about, he makes it hilarious and interesting and even sometimes informative, so fantastic. Thank you once again for letting me on your channel. I swear I'm not chasing clout, although it would be nice if you told people to send some subscribers over to me. That would be cool. But anyway, thank you once again, Colin. Thank you, JonTron. And thank you everyone who's watching. And I'm the BC once more. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe to me and to Colin, because he's amazing and I'm not as amazing, but I'm here, and I will see you guys later.
My car! My ground!
Thank you to the BC for his wonderful contribution. His link will be in the description below. Now, the thing I want to focus on about JonTron specifically is his humor. Back when I was in my last years of university, a lot of my close friends would either call me the joke police or a joke scholar in jest. Honestly though, they were kinda right. I think humor is one of the most interesting mediums of communication, and I do have a bad habit of picking apart people's jokes in every facet possible as soon as they finish saying it. Trust me, I know how annoying that can come off, and I actively try not to do it, but sometimes it still slips out because I'm so passionate about how jokes are formulated and everything that goes into making one. I'm not calling myself like a humor master or anything like that, but as someone who pays attention to the intent details in humor in general, I can definitely say that John is one of the only YouTubers that I can count on one hand who knows how to craft the perfect joke. If you look at the elements that make up a joke, he has an uncanny knack or skill, whatever you want to call it, of conjuring up the optimal way of executing each element and bringing them to fruition. I think the most prominent one that people can easily point out is that JonTron is a genius at comedic timing. He knows exactly how long to wait to deliver the joke in order to let the absurdity or insanity of whatever he's reacting to adequately sink in with the viewer. He knows exactly the right amount of time to drag the joke out, as he tends to push it perfectly to the brink where it could get old and not a bit more, resulting in maximizing the complete potential of said joke. Let's be honest with each other, the death screen animation joke from the Lion King video wouldn't have hit nearly as hard as it did if he didn't hold out his blissfully auto-tuned "oh my god" as long as he did. And most importantly, he knows how to strategically place the jokes throughout the video as to make them a cohesive unit that barrages you with continuous laughter. Another element of humor that John has seemed to master is that of exaggeration. He'll catch on to something within the media he's reviewing that seems a bit over the top and ridiculous, and he'll latch onto it and keep pushing that narrative of the show in his own joking manner. Essentially, he makes up a completely fictional and absurd anecdote and conversation for the situation he's goofing on, and I truly don't know why more people don't attempt that style of humor. The only explanation that I have is that there aren't that many people who can do that level of extemporaneous humor and continue to add onto their jokes in a manner that doesn't sound completely repetitive. His delivery is also top-notch, which is why he's one of the most meme-to-death creators on the site and why there's literally hundreds of videos capturing small excerpts of his videos where he lays down some bangin' one-liners. He knows how to balance being subdued and over the top, and when to properly utilize that aforementioned exaggeration. Plus, he has such a good sense about how he needs to match the tonality of his voice to his jokes, which just adds to the pristine nature of the delivery. His delivery is so good, in fact, you might as well call him Amazon Prime or something. Also, for someone who tends to sit down in the majority of his videos, he's surprisingly really good at physical comedy. On the surface level, the way he effectively and efficiently uses his movements is very impressive, as well as the way he interacts with the set around him. And if we take it up to another level, his facial expressions and the way he's able to contort individual parts of his face is something that I think goes underappreciated. It adds a lot to the aura of absurdity that he embodies in almost every video that he does. To be honest, I think Jon is so good at the way he implements his humor that he could definitely hold his own as a stand-up comedian. But for now, we'll just have to settle for a new video every couple months and prepare ourselves for the wondrous and glorious return of William Swift. Also, I know I didn't address his controversy. All I have to say is, trust the process. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, you can like, comment, and subscribe. Any combination of the three will do. I would like to give a thank you to my patrons, Weston Katecki and Carl McGee, and my producer, the BC Film Reviews. If you would like to support this channel, since most videos are demonetized, and get some awesome perks along with it, my Patreon is in the description, as well as my Twitter, where you can reach out and we can connect. Thank you once again so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Goodbye.